listen. Once again, you don't believe me, you don't believe yourself, you don't believe anybody else, but you listen, then you know exactly where those ideas, where the story coming from. And of course, you don't take it personally. When you practice this fifth agreement, something very important happens in your own mind. You finally respect yourself. And when you respect your own beliefs, your own story, your physical body, the entire creation in your physical body, the result is peace. Once that you respect yourself, there is no more conflict. You no longer believe in lies, and even if you don't know exactly what the truth is, applying knowledge, of course, then you live peacefully and you really enjoy every single moment of your life. And once that you finally respect yourself, then you can respect everybody else, because you know that in their story, in the reality that they create in their world, they still don't respect themselves. They still play with injustice. We see the injustice outside, but we don't see that we have the injustice inside our own head. Because we can say that the human is the only animal who punishes himself or herself for the same mistake 1,000 times. And every time that you remember the mistake, you punish yourself again. And this is not justice. Then if we don't have justice in our own mind, how can we pretend to find justice outside when there's so many people in their world with different points of view, and everybody want to impose what they believe is true? But when we finally respect ourselves, we listen. It doesn't mean that we believe what they say. And we don't believe because we already know that whatever they say will be only truth for them, but not for us. But when we listen, we understand, and we can speak their language. And I don't mean English, Spanish, German, Chinese. No, that language that comes directly from the heart. Because we can see that when we was born, we didn't know anything. We have no knowledge at all. Then just to learn a language, it takes us like 5, 6, 7 years of practice and practice and practice, and it's not that easy. But we know that we kind of master that language when something extraordinary happens in our head, and something that we call thinking. The voice appears in our head with all those opinions, with everything that we learn. Now everything makes sense because we understand finally all the symbols. And this is the time when we learn to write also, to represent the sounds into graphic. And we can express in all the different directions like music, painting, etc. But as you see, everything that we know is nothing but symbols. And those symbols are only true because millions of us agree in the meaning of A, B, C, Do, Re, Mi, 1, 2, 3. We all agree. And by agreement, we create something that we call truth, but it's not exactly truth. I call it the relative truth. Because the real truth, yes, it exists, but we cannot really prove with knowledge that that exists. But we can get very close. We can say that the truth exists long before the creation of humanity and will exist long after the extinction of humanity, and doesn't need humans' opinions, human belief in order to exist. On the other hand, that relative truth is created by us, is created by the word. And we use the word to create the whole story about ourselves. We use the word to create our own world, the world where we live in, and it's individual for each one of us. Like you're the queen in your world, as I'm the king in my world. Then as the queen in your world, if you respect your world, you will have peace in your world. As a king in my world, if I respect myself, I will have peace in my world. And when I have peace in my world, because I can respect the point of view of everybody else. It doesn't mean that I agree with them, but I don't judge them because I know I'm a human as they are humans. And to say human is just another word. Because, in many of the lectures, people ask me, well, Miguel, what are you? Well, I answer, the truth is that I don't know what I am, but I am. I'm here. I'm alive. I enjoy every single moment. And whatever I am, it is perfect. It's wonderful, and I enjoy it. But honestly, I don't know. But if I use knowledge, then I will say, well, I'm a human. I am male. I am a medical doctor. I am an author. And if I go into a religious point of view, I will say, well, I'm a spirit. I am a soul. If I go into a more scientific point of view, I will say, well, I'm energy. I am light. But whatever I say is just a word. And that word is only true because millions of us agree with the meaning of that symbol. But just imagine that instead of living, let's say, in the United States, where you understand English perfectly, when you understand society, all the rules, religion, etc., and you are very comfortable. Well, next day you travel into Japan, and people talk, and you have no idea what they're saying. You see all those symbols in the streets, and you have no idea what they say. Well, that is the result of millions of Japanese who agree in the meaning of those symbols. And they learn to speak in their language, they learn to write in their language, and they are comfortable with all the rules in their society, their religion. And if you go to whatever religion they have, you will see a completely big difference with the religion that you have. Then the question comes right away in your hand. Are they right? Am I right? Which religion is better? My God is better than their God? And you see, all that is about beliefs, really. But the truth is that when they was born, they didn't know Japanese. Or the other side, they didn't know Chinese, or they didn't know German. They learned from the society. They prepared them to be part of that society. And it's only truth because we believe. Then we use all our knowledge in order to live or believe in that relative truth. Then I can say that a lie is a distortion of the truth. And now we are talking about perhaps the virtual truth, the relative truth. Then a lie definitely will be a distortion. And distortion can be bigger and bigger and bigger. Then why would distort a truth? Well, number one, because we are not impeccable with the word. Because we take everything personally. Because we fill our head with assumptions. And because we don't do our best. And of course, we believe everything. It's not the fifth agreement. We are so gullible. We are easy prey for all those opinions, for all those judgments, and we believe them, and we create a whole hell, we can say, in our mind. And we believe is normal, because whatever we believe, because it's comfortable, we feel safe.
Right.
Because the whole construction is knowledge, so it's all what we know. And it's what is talking in our head. Mm-hmm. Then let's see, if you are the one who is talking in your head, then who is listening?
Good